kind of deep dive. This is Dead On. Once again, this is a attorney advertisement. Nothing here should be taken as uh, legal advice. And so you've got Bitcoin as one form of currency. And how does that interact with dollars and marks and the other world currencies? How does that relate to it? Or does it relate at all?
Well, it doesn't. I mean, it's a huge topic area, but um, um, uh, I don't know exactly when in the timeline, but Bitcoin was very much an experiment when it started in 2009. And years went by when there wasn't much activity and people were doing mining, but nobody had a way to transfer it into US dollars.
Okay.
And then and then cryptocurrency brokers started to be launched. Coinbase is one of the most successful, and they're in San Francisco. And so they act as a money changer, exchanging Bitcoin for US dollars
Okay, so
or
that's something
marks or
that clears
British
up a
pound.
big thing for me because when I first saw Bitcoin, I'm like, well, how do you change it back into money? Now that you got a brokerage house that actually takes Bitcoins and
Right.
puts it in money currency. Okay, so that's Coinbase. Okay.
Now, one of the very early brokerages was called Mt. Gox.
Uh,
And before Bitcoin was well known at all, you were reading headlines about Mt. Gox. Maybe that was 8 or 10 years ago. Mt. Gox, GOX, Mt. Gox.
but
I don't
Goss
know where it was
isn't
located. I think,
GAUS? Isn't Goss a famous uh is wasn't Goss a famous physicist or something like that? Or is that a takeoff of that?
yes, he was.
Okay, and what
No,
did
that's
he
Gauss. You're thinking of
Gauss, and what did
Gauss.
he invent? He invented he did some calculations, didn't he, that were quite famous. But
Gaussian fields are magnetic fields.
okay, yeah, Gaussian
So he
field.
was a
Okay.
theorist.
So is this Gauss thing kind of a takeoff on Gaussian physics, or is it just a
I don't think so.
oh,
Well,
okay,
I don't know if it was a real place or not, but there was a brokerage house. It was just one guy and maybe a partner called
right.
Mount Gox. And they had a lot of clients and they had $1 billion worth of Bitcoins, and
Wow.
something bad happened and the whole thing went down and a
Oh my
lot
gosh.
of people lost a lot of Bitcoin. And the thing about Bitcoin is it doesn't exist physically, it's just numbers. So if you
Right.
lose those numbers, it's gone forever.
So you mean they had a
And
server
that was a
crash and
big
everyone lost their
scandal.
secret codes or what?
Well, that's possible, but everybody was wondering what kind of sneaky business was going on.
Shenanigans
Was
happen
this
there,
like
huh?
some kind of inside job? Was this fraud? And
Ah,
it's the whole thing is so complicated that the government fraud department isn't really looking at it. And I think there was criminal charges involved with the guy who ran Mount Gox. He might have gone to jail or maybe not. I don't know. But it was a big scandal because hundreds of millions of dollars disappeared.
wow.
And that's the big fear, right? So Coinbase has had some stories that give pause. I haven't signed up for an account yet, but I know many people who do.
Well, let me interrupt you for a second. Isn't there something like a Bitcoin wallet that you can acquire? You get a wallet.
Well, the wallet is just a software construct. If you sign up for Coinbase, they give you a wallet.
Do you
And
have
the
a wallet?
wallet,
Do you have a wallet in Bitcoin or just in Coinbase?
well, maybe they call it a wallet because there is 200 types of cryptocurrency, and the
Right.
number that they trade is maybe 50.
But I mean,
I don't
you
know
got to have
exactly
a.
how many.
So basically, when you sign up for, so let's say I don't know anything about cryptocurrency, and I say, okay, now I want to buy some cryptocurrency, so I'm going to get a wallet. But can I not also go to? I'm not going to mention different brokerage houses because I don't want to say one or the better than the other. But could I also bet short on Bitcoin at what Bitcoin's at $16,000 a coin, and I could say that's got to crash. I think it's going to go down to 12. Can I short Bitcoin or can I long Bitcoin? Can I do puts and calls on Bitcoin or you know anything
You
about that?
know,
Can you play it anywhere?
I don't really, no, I don't really know about that, but I would expect somebody's doing that
Right,
because anything that can be arbitraged, somebody's doing it,
right.
right? And Bitcoin is, it's
It's been
highly
around for a long time.
volatile, but It's trackable.
But it's very high
Now,
right now, isn't it? Isn't Bitcoin pretty high? I think it's like $16,000 a coin.
oh,
or
it's extremely high. Yes. No, it's at 45,000 and it was at 13,000 only a couple of
So
years
it's
ago.
45,000 now, right? Oh my gosh. I was thinking it
Yes.
was 16,000. Which shows a little.
Yes.
So I mean, you would think
Well,
at
what happened
45,000.
is Musk, Elon, Elon invested many, many million. Tesla, not Elon. Tesla made a major investment in Bitcoin, so that they're a
Oh,
maker of, they're now a transaction bank, and they're saying that, oh, you can buy your Tesla car using Bitcoin, which is a, I mean, it's a good market. It's a good marketing
but it's
story. I don't
also
know
a
how many
huge
people are going
thing
to do
because
that.
it's kind of putting it in the mainstream in a way,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
So
So
okay, so
anyway,
Elon Musk is worth a lot of money, right? He's worth billions of dollars or more than several billions. I
he's
don't know how
probably
much is
worth
he.
a lot of Bitcoin too.
What's that?
I don't know. He's a 100 billionaire, I think.
Oh, 100 billionaire. Okay, so when he invests in someone, people kind of follow him because they figure, well, he must be a pretty smart guy. If he's putting money into this because he's got $100 billion, so he must be smart, or lucky.
Yes. Well, anyway,
Oh,
so
it's
he invested in
45,000.
Bitcoin.
So I think I'm going to short Bitcoin.
Yes.
It seems awful high.
I don't know that I would recommend that.
I don't know.
Well, actually, no. Here, put it this way: you can safely predict it will go down again. But
Yeah, well, you
if
can
you
safely
short
predict it will
something,
go up
it's
again.
always about
But when?
time schedules.
Yeah, right. I said you can safely predict it will go up
That's
again.
right.
Win. That's
When you
completely
buy a
right.
futures contract, it's got months. The months are counting.
Well, yeah,
It's
I mean,
not just open
you could
ended.
probably do
So
30, 60, 90, 120 days out, whatever you wanted, kind of however you want to do it. That's, I haven't really studied very carefully, but I didn't even know it was up to 45,000. That's amazing to me. It seems amazing. Absolutely amazing.
well,
And so,
that happened only very, very recently.
yeah. Okay. So what about other things that
Anyway,
are similar to Bitcoin? You said there's dozens or hundreds of other coins. Like let's say you don't have $45,000 and you want to go into the cryptocurrency. What are some examples, some cheaper coins you could get into to kind of get in there without, I mean, can you buy
well,
a part of a
since it's all
coin?
numbers,
Can you buy
yeah,
part
that's
of a
what
Bitcoin?
everybody does. Oh,
What's that?
yeah, yeah. You can buy $100 worth of Bitcoin.
Oh,
So
so
it's
you
going to
can
be
buy a
point
percentage
zero
of the
zero
coin.
zero zero zero,
Oh, okay. All right.
right?
Okay. So that's what you can do. Okay.
It's
And how
just
about other,
numbers. Computers are good at that.
there's others competitors to Bitcoin out there. And what runs second and third to Bitcoin that you can think of? You can think of any also rans
Well,
or
number 2 would be Litecoin. Number
Litecoin?
3 is probably Ethereum.
Oh, Ethereum. I've heard.
Litecoin, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Litecoin, I think the transaction time is only not more than a minute or two. So it's a
Okay.
lot faster.
Light time is quicker. So here's my question. If, let's say they just did a $1.9 trillion thing and then they didn't have that money. So of course you're just printing more money. So the dollar is going down a dime or a nickel every time they give away a couple $1 trillion. Does Bitcoin's not really affected by how much the government prints US dollars, is it? It's kind of independent of fiat currencies.
Oh, that's right. It's kind of independent.
Okay.
Now,
That's amazing.
uh, uh, when Bitcoin was designed, it was designed that a certain number of Bitcoins are released every year
But there's like
to pay for the mining.
But there's a million total or something, right? I mean, there's a
No, it
set
tops
amount.
out. It's going to top out in 20 more years, mid-century. It's going to top out at 21 million Bitcoins,
And you
which
can't
is a
print any
very
more.
finite number.
Okay, so it has a finite
There won't
amount.
be any more.
It's not like dollars that they can just print another trillion and another trillion. They just add zeros. Okay. So
Right.
this actually has a limit. It's like gold. It's like, because my understanding about gold is that an asteroid hit the Earth or something, and there's only so much gold. There's like a swimming pool of gold on the planet.
Right.
And that's about it. Right.
People like that idea when you talk about money. They like the idea that it's based on a finite quantity.
It's a finite quantity. Well, I think that's amazing, Dan. Okay, so next, let's wrap up on this one. And I think that's our 5th episode of Dead On. And we're lucky to have Dan Cockey with us, who's like one of the founders at Apple and a computer genius and an engineer type, and knows a bunch of stuff that I can barely ever understand even after I read the books. But I know enough to ask a couple questions. So we're going to move on to our next topic and our next episode. But I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight and learning basically a little bit about a very complex subject about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And thank you all for coming on. And thank you for coming on, Dan.